Looking back at Galileo, everyone agrees that the church could have reacted better. But how were they to know that he was right and their interpretation of the Bible was wrong? The idea that the Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun was proved by Nicholas Copernicus, who, sensibly, published his work just before he died in 1543. 50 years later, Galileo invented a telescope by which anyone could see that he was right. This was a terrible moment, from which the Church hasn't really recovered. Instead of using scientific observations to help interpret the Bible, the Church simply decided that its traditional understanding was correct, even if calculations and their own eyes disagreed. In the Church's defense, the Bible clearly does say that the earth stands still. The world is firmly established. It cannot be moved. It also says that the sun moves. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. We could approach these texts in a number of different ways. First, we could say that they are true from a particular perspective, in that, relative to us, the earth does stand still and the sun does move around us. We could also, secondly, regard them as merely figures of speech, so we shouldn't infer anything literal from them. After all, we still speak about sunrise without meaning that the sun actually rises. Thirdly, we could agree that the ancient authors were reflecting their own beliefs about the sun moving round the earth, and that they were merely using this as an illustration of God's greatness. Neither they nor God who inspired them expected us to infer anything about astronomy from this imagery. Or fourthly, we could declare that anything stated in Scripture is literally true, whatever the subject matter or genre. So, if other facts indicate something different, it is those facts that we need to question, not the Bible. I like the second option, that this was simply a figure of speech. I also have a lot of sympathy for the third option, that the Bible shouldn't be expected to make revelations about matters outside of its main message. But it's the first option that I normally look for. That is, to assume that the words mean what they say, but that they are not the way we would put it if we were saying it today. In other words, the Bible speaks about the sun moving around the earth because that's how everyone described it. And to be honest, that's how we still speak about it when we aren't attempting to be scientifically accurate. The fourth isn't an option at all. It's a mistake. And it's the mistake that the Church made with regard to Galileo's discovery. They assumed that their interpretation was the only possible interpretation. Surprisingly, some people still reject the idea that the Earth orbits the Sun, or that the Earth spins, or that the Earth is round. They assert that the truth of the Bible should always triumph over scientific theories. Church leaders who examined Galileo should also have examined their own beliefs. They should have asked, are we defending the Bible, or are we defending our interpretation of the Bible? However, no one likes to admit they are wrong, and most people like to carry on thinking and teaching the same way they've always done. What the Inquisition lacked wasn't knowledge, because we can never know everything. They lacked humility and a thirst for knowledge. We can assert that the Bible is undeniably true, but we should never claim that our interpretation of the Bible is also undeniable. God bless.